Hey, welcome to JG3 Reviews. I'm James, and I do some fountain pen reviews and other pen reviews too, although I'm still stuck on fountain pens at the moment. And I've also been shopping again for demonstrators, and I got one. I showed you one that I bought not too long ago, just this last week, and now I'm going to show you another. And this one is another one that clicks a couple of buttons for me. I mentioned in that review that I have a couple of weaknesses. I love demonstrator pens that show you how the pen works. And I love my favorite color, blue. That's not blue. Why would I buy an orange pen? Well, I'll tell you why I would buy an orange pen. This pen is Central High Bobcat orange and white in San Angelo, Texas, and that's where I grew up. And I bought this because when I saw this pen, I saw Central, and I love it. And it's Friday night, and it's time for the Friday Night Lights, and the Central High Bobcats were a part of that whole Friday Night Lights era in West Texas, big arch rivals of our Odessa Permian, and I just still carry that flame. I like to see them win, and I wish them luck this Friday night. But that's why I bought the pen. So I proudly carry this. Maybe you wouldn't carry an orange pen, but I am, because it's Friday and it's football. Now, let's flip the camera and look a little bit closer of what actually matters about the design of this pen and whether or not it can write. Let's go. Okay, so here is a closer look at the Wing Sung 3010. This one, in my high school color of orange, is a Demonstrator pen, totally translucent. You can see everything going on inside this pen, right down to where you would hold to screw down the converter. So really, really cool if you're into translucent pens just because you like the colors. Really, really cool if you like demonstrator pens because you want to see all the inner workings. As you can see, kind of a sucker for demonstrator pens. This is the TWSBI Eco. This is the pen I reviewed last time, which is the Jinhao 992. And all of those demonstrator pens have a different take. I like them all. This one does come with a fine nib, and I'm trying to find a few more fine nibs. I'm heavy on medium pens, it seems like, all of a sudden. And I do like fine. I kind of tend toward fine to medium is actually kind of what I like. And that's actually where this one falls, as I'll show you in the writing test here in a second. But this one's a fine nib. It won't be as fine, if you're looking for a real fine nib, it won't be as fine, Chinese pens usually aren't, as a Japanese fine. So if you buy a Pilot with a fine nib, that's going to be a little bit tighter line, but that's not meant as a negative. It's just, know what you're getting into. This is probably leans more toward a German fine, for example, a Kaweco fine, that sort of thing. One of the things I like about it, and I guess I should have filmed this before I put ink in it to really show you, is that this has a Lamy Safari type triangular grip section with the 3 different sections of grip. I find that to be comfortable. I find it to be comfortable on this pen. I actually, to be honest, liked this one for whatever reason a little bit better than a Lamy in terms of the way it felt in hand, and that's just my own personal preference. Some people like them, some people don't. But it's really cool as you watch that ink go in this perfectly clear grip section. And so if you're into the mechanical side of fountain pens, that's part of it. And as you can see, as the light glistens through underneath the nib there, that even that is translucent as well and showing very well the Noodler's ink Midnight Blue that is currently in this pen. It does come, so kudos to Wing Sung. It does come with its own converter, and unlike some of the other converters I've had before, even in this demonstrator, even the twist for the converter itself is translucent. I love that. It's just an extra little demonstrator step that Wing Sung took that other pen makers haven't, and it would be cool to me if that caught on. But kudos to them for that, and kudos to them for providing a converter. I'm going to keep hammering on that. Any pen ought to come, fountain pen should come with a converter from the factory, and many do. Schaefer White Dot that came from the factory with their converter. I've got Heroes and Wing Sungs and Jinhaos. Seems like every Chinese pen I've ever bought came with a converter. If they can do it for $3, then you know what? Some of you other companies selling pens for $50, $60, and $300 could surely throw in a converter. stop being such cheapskates already. that's my advice for the day. So this one does come with one, and I'm glad for that. The design of it is really a pretty neat pen. It's something different, I think. See if you look at it and see if you see what I see. When I look at this pen, I keep seeing something that reminds me of pens and just design and style from like the late 60s, early 70s. And I like that. I think that's cool. That actually goes well with the orange for my football team, because that's kind of the era that they chose their colors. And so that just all fits for me, and I like it. You know, I like how the pen looks. The real question at this point is, how does the pen write? And hopefully the grade that you give today is for the pen and not for me. I was about to write Jen Howe. That's not right, is it? This is a Wing Sung 3010, and it is a fine nib again. And you will notice that here it's writing kind of a fine to medium, but there's a little bit of flex in this nib. I think you could coax a little bit of flourish out of it. If you have those kind of handwriting skills, you would be able to do that. And so that, I think, is where some of that thickness is coming from. It writes smoothly. In fact, to be honest, I'm actually having to really kind of pay attention because it writes so smoothly on this particular one. I don't know if all the nibs on these pens are like this. I can't make that guarantee, but because I don't have enough experience with Wing Sung, the 3010, and this particular nib to say. But this one, in my pen, your mileage may vary. This one writes so smoothly, I'm actually having to kind of watch myself, and the hand just wants to fly right along. That's a good thing, isn't it? That's kind of a good problem. And that gives you an idea of how it writes. This is a Noodler's Midnight Blue. I'm just going to put MB for that. It's a Noodler's Midnight Blue. It's the same ink I've used in several other reviews, and so you may recognize that shade. And if you look at those other reviews and compare it to this, you'll also know a little bit more about how this pen writes. Handwriting aside, the pen is doing a great job. So for just another everyday carry kind of a pen, this one, was $3 again, probably thereabouts. Good pen. I fell for it because this is my high school colors, orange and white, Central High Bobcats. And I wanted to try a pen from a company that I have less experience with, Wing Sung, but good experience with. I have already reviewed the 3008, the Wing Sung 3008. That's also a demonstrator, and it's one that has it's a piston filler that doesn't take cartridges. Really, really nice pen for a really, really good price. Go check out that review. I'll be sure and put a link of it up in the corner. But this one I would recommend. This is another pen where you are getting a lot of bang for your buck. So like and subscribe. We're going to have some more reviews soon. I'm going to have a whole slew of demonstrator pens to share with you to show you why I like these pens so much in the first place. Have a great week. Like and subscribe. And until then, I'll see you later.